All right, those of you that are on, hello, welcome to the Rise and Fit call for September 9th, 9/9 of 19. Isn't that kind of a fun number today to start something special and do something crazy and cool with? I was just like, hey, today, Trina, okay, how many of you got on Trina's live Zoom last night? Or not Zoom, it was a live call last night from Team Rockstar Fit. Awesome song.
I got a really small part.
A small part of it. I would highly recommend going back and listening to it and watching it. Some of what we're going to talk about tonight is going to be like an extension of that. And so that'll be helpful to go watch that to kind of really get the full thing of it. Anytime she speaks, she's like a walking feed ebook. So it's just always really good to kind of learn from her and just kind of hear how she talks and how she's been in the business for over 10 years now, 11 last May. And so it's always good to hear what she has to say and how she articulates things and what she has to share and the knowledge that she gives. So tonight we're going to be doing a couple things. Let me share my screen. Hello, Miss Marcy. Oops, that screen always pops up. Okay, so I'm just going to move this over here so you guys see that and you can see you. We're all good? You guys see that? Okay. So tonight's call, we have a couple announcements. One, September 21st is our team dinner. We're heading to Zeppelin's about 5 p.m. till whenever. So I'll try to show up on time. I mean, if those of you know me, I'm not the most on-time person in the world. So if you're there at 5 o'clock and no one else is, my deepest apologies, but I will be there shortly after. And so it's 5 o'clock-ish at Zeppelin's on September 21st. We'll be there till whenever we're done eating and whenever we're done talking, and maybe they'll have to kick us out. I don't know, but will be a ton of fun there. We've had several people RSVP, and this is definitely something for team, but it's also for any potential teammates. So if you've got friends that are kind of on the fence, or you've got people that you want to meet the team, bring them with us. We're just literally going to eat dinner and hang out with each other. It's not going to be anything like crazy Beachbody related. We're not going to show any videos. We're not going to like talk just team stuff. Like we're going to get to know each other. We're going to have fun, and it's going to be a good time. And it's Zeppelin, so it's good food. And if you want to get drinks, awesome. Yeah, I'm not a drinker, so I won't, but feel free. Okay, so September 21st, 5 p.m., hanging out at Zeppelin's. The book club started today. I do not have a physical copy to even like hold up in front of you because you all either earned them and I shipped one off to you, or you said, hey, I'd like to grab one that you have left, and you purchased them from me, and so I sent them all in the mail. So I have been listening on my walks, in my Audible again, and so I can't, again, take notes, but I'm loving it, and I've been screenshotting where I've been at and taking notes when I get back home and things. So the book club's happening. The first discussion came up today. You can comment below those posts with things that you're listening and things that you're loving. Make new posts in the team page. Just engage with each other around the book club, and hopefully you're loving it already if you are involved in it. The third thing on the list is what's here every single week. So who has some celebrations? Anyone? Celebrations? I've got some. But I'd rather hear from you guys.
I went and shook the hand of the guy who basically wouldn't allow me to take a new job. So that was kind of made me feel good. I don't know. I'm excited about it. Making the best out of a terrible situation. So
awesome sauce. You're the bigger person. That's a celebration. Totally. Cool. Hey, Jess. Who else has a celebration? Your ankle's better? That is very good. I'm happy that your ankle's better. I saw you working out recently, and I was like, yeah, go girl. T20. That is not my program. I'm so glad you love it. My kiddo took my kid to school, and she didn't cry. That is a huge win. Yes. Hey, we take all kinds of celebrations here because that is huge in life, right? Like when you don't have to deal with a crying child. Yes. Totally. Who else has some fun stuff? Well, Jamie, you made it home before the rain started. That's a celebration, right? You didn't get soaking wet. I've got some other celebrations. Lisa Kanegi on our team, she posted her very first transformation photo in the team page recently. If you've seen her in the 3 different shirts, I think she posted on Together We Rise, but I think pretty sure she also posted on the team page. If you've not yet seen it, go check it out. Give her some love. She was somebody that I knew her from Grundy Center where I used to teach, and it was a long time going. Like she would order like the DVD programs like way back in the day and then like never do them. Like she'd go walking with a friend, or she'd like message me that she just didn't do anything. I was like, why not? But she's so consistent. She will stick to a full program, like 21 days, 30 days, or whatever. And now she's just kind of bod hopping around a little bit, but she's getting up every single day and getting something done. And that's consistency, and that matters. She really wishes her nutrition were more consistent, but I remind her all the time, but look how far it's come with her fitness, and the nutrition will get there eventually too. Tiffany went back to school today. Today was her first day back at work. I know she was super sad about missing Emmett all day, but she made it. I saw her stories later on, and all of life as well. I have a challenger, Jean, who has some really amazing non-scale victories. And I really hope Jean joins our team someday, but Shakeology like gave her like severe headaches. I don't know what she was doing, but it didn't work very well for her. So we're going to do some other adjusting stuff first, and then maybe readdress it again later. But so at the moment, she's really, I mean, other than the team, like obviously the team would be amazing for her, but she is still just a customer at the moment. But she has done some amazing things since starting with us at the end of July. She takes a walk every single night after her kids are all high schoolers or whatever. But she, at the beginning, when she started, she could usually only do about 5 to 6 laps around the park in her hour's time. And now she can do 8. She has some capri jeans that are fitting her amazing now. And she's getting her workouts in no matter what, as well as she called me one day. This was like 2 weeks into her journey. She called me one day and she's like, guess what just happened? And I was like, I don't know. She's shopping with her daughters in Rochester, and they went to Applebee's to eat. And she's like, I know, Applebee's, like, it's a bad idea that we went to Applebee's. And I was like, no, it's cool. Like, I'm sure you picked something really great from the menu. And she's like, but guess what happened? I slid into the booth and I didn't get stuck at the table. So she was so excited that like she didn't get like, you know, like that, like you have to push the table away. Like she's able to fit in the booth. She was so happy. So I did a happy dance in the kitchen and like, you know, screeched a little bit maybe, and was happy for her. And so those are my celebrations for tonight. That Jean is doing amazingly well. Lisa's had some great weight loss. Tiffany made it to school and back home. Anybody else have anything fun to share? Any challengers that are doing amazing, fun things happening? Coaches are celebrating? Nada. Nobody has anything fun. Man, celebrations are a major bummer on this call every week. You guys know how to party, let me tell you. Okay, not thinking straight tonight. Okay, got it. Okay, well, when you think of something fun to celebrate, you let me know. Okay, let's just get rock and rolling right into the call, huh? All right, so we have, I gotta share my screen again. I realized I didn't keep that going. All right, now let's move you over here. Okay, so celebrations, all the good jazz. Success Club so far this month. We're just getting started, but we've already, as a team, changed 10 lives so far. So Kara has helped 2 women. Alicia, Erin, Amy, Leanne, Lee, Jess, and myself have all helped 1 person so far. And so that's exciting. We always kind of have a goal of 100 lives changed so far at the end of the month. And that's super easy to do. That's we have 203 or 325 people on the team, and so if we all think even about us all helping 1 person, then that's a lot of lives changed right there. And we're going for 100 lives changed, and so far we have 10, and it is the 9th of the month, and we have plenty of time to make that happen. If we all hit Success Club 6, meaning we've all helped 3 people, think about the massive impact that this team could have on the world around us, right? So lives change. so far 10. We're going for 100. Let's kick it in gear and keep our conversations going and talking it up. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a podcast that I listened to recently. And this is a podcast that a podcast as a whole that I absolutely love. I listen to it every single week when it comes out on Thursdays. It's called the Life Coach School Podcast. And this one happens to be episode 284, Anti-Fragility. And it sounds kind of like a weird word. And I was at first like, okay, Brooke Castillo, like, where are you taking it with us? Where is this going? She's a life coach who does these podcasts, and they are always so good. There's tons of great podcasts in her. If you scroll back and look, I can find some of my favorites later on. But this one tonight is just about anti-fragility and what that really means. So I'm going to kind of take you through like my notes a little bit of the podcast. Hopefully you can apply something to what you're learning. And then we're going to do some kind of goal setting stuff at the end, kind of a little tied into what Trina talked about on her call last night. If you remember from yesterday's call that Trina oftentimes does some life lessons, some business lessons and whatnot. I kind of decided to take the same kind of approach tonight. We always usually talk just business stuff on here, but life happens. When you are good in life, you're good in business. And when you're not good in life, you're usually not good in business. And it's usually the other way around as well, right? When our lack of confidence comes from not being able to kind of stick with things. So today we're going to talk about anti-fragility and what that means. I'm going to open the chat and put it over here. Can you guys still see the screen if I put the chat there? Yeah. All right, yes, Trina's call was absolutely amazing. Okay, anti-fragility is the opposite of fragile, okay? So it's a system that increases incapability to thrive as a result of stressors, shocks, faults, attacks, or failures, or anything negative that happens in your life, okay? Anti-fragility is basically the opposite of fragile. It's making sure that you are able to face and overcome anything that comes in your way, and that anything that happens in your life, basically. All right. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight. So when we think about like a fragile life versus an anti-fragile life, a non-fragile life. Like when you think of fragile, like what is it that you think of? Like go ahead and drop it in the chat. Like what comes to mind when you think of fragile? Glass, okay. That's a good one. What else? What else is fragile? Easily breakable. Good answer. Remember, guys, I'm a teacher. I got really good wait time. Anything could go wrong at any time. Yeah. Emotions, they can be fragile. Yep. Tonight, when we're talking about being anti-fragile, we're going to be talking about our personalities. We're going to be talking about how we handle things that come up in our life, okay? And so when we think about, do you kind of think of like babies as fragile? Like when they're itty bitty tiny things, yeah, they're definitely fragile. You really can't, well, you can break a baby, but that's kind of beyond my point here. Like really we think about like being able to overcome something, and you have to work through something to get better at it. And if as a baby gets bigger and they learn how to walk, you have to think about how does somebody learn how to walk? How does somebody learn how to ride a bike? How did you learn to walk? Practice, yeah? How else do you learn how to walk? Did someone tell you, like, lift up your foot, move it forward, shift your weight, now put it down? Like, what would we look like if we were trying to talk to 1-year-olds, well, 9 months if you're a baby Roz, if you are little itty bitties like that, and we would try to tell them, lift up your foot, now move forward, now put it down, now pick up the next one. Now, like, no, it just doesn't happen, right? You have to practice, you have to model, you have to get up, you have to fall down, you have to be anti-fragile, okay? You have to be willing to put yourself out there. They have to be willing to just keep going for it. And, you know, no one tells you to do all that kind of stuff. You have to try, you have to fall down, you have to keep going. And you have to experience things. You have to have some trial and error in order for things to work out for you. So when you're thinking about learning to walk and you're thinking about starting in this business, it's all the same. Whether you're learning to walk as a small child, whether you're learning a new job that you're just moving into, whether you're learning into a new classroom kind of situation, whether you're now becoming a parent yourself and you have this whole new thing that you have to figure out, like, or it's starting this business, whatever it might be, you have to learn how to work through it and try, figure it out, and have some trials and errors as you kind of go through it. Okay. So Brooke Castillo does a much better job of kind of talking about these kinds of things. But like I said, I'm just giving you my notes and I want to kind of give you the highlights of it, right? You have to fail more than you succeed in order to get better at it. And she also talks about in the podcast about how being fragile is avoiding risk. It's breaking, it's having the opportunity to break, you need to protect it, all those kinds of things, right? And being anti-fragile is you are tough, you're strong, you're going to be able to overcome those kinds of things. And in order to get better at something, you have to fall, you have to break, you have to see where you're at in the whole process of things. And you're going to, in order to get stronger at something, you have to break something down. Now, the picture of a butterfly on here, because did you know that if you were to take the cocoon as the butterfly was starting to come out of it, and if you were to break the cocoon open for the butterfly, and you were to kind of spread its wings out a little bit for it, it would never fly away? Did you guys know that? Yeah, and the whole process of the butterfly getting out of the cocoon, awesome. So you totally understand this, Brayden. The whole process of the butterfly getting out of the cocoon and pumping its wings and getting the blood to flow into them, it's the whole process of getting out of there so they can be strong enough to move on and fly, right? Absolutely, right? Am I wrong there? Do you have anything else to add to that? Good? Okay. So there, you have to learn how to keep processing. Somebody is unmuted. Okay, so to learn how to fly here, you have to think about, to learn how to do anything, you have to fail, you have to get better at it, you have to get stronger as you go through things. And the butterfly is a great example of that. All right. So people often want to know the how. Same thing in coaching. People often want to know the how do I do this? They want a prescription. They want a step-by-step guide. If I do this, then this will happen, and then this will happen, and then this will happen, and I'll be successful, right? So many people want the how. How do I invite? How do I set up groups? How do I do this? How do I do that? But it's not about the steps. It's not about, just like in walking, teaching a child how to walk. It's not about those kinds of things. It's about knowing that you are going through something, you're learning something in the process, and it's by trial and error, getting up and falling down, getting up and falling down, and keep going until you get up and you get it right. That matters the most. All right. Fragile, I'm going to keep skimming through this because the fun part's coming at the end. Anti-fragile, fragile is trying to avoid risk. You break when that happens. You kind of think of, like we talked earlier, the glass, the butterflies, even things that are going to break and that you have to protect, right? If you are robust, that means you can stand up to challenges, that you can meet things head on. But if you are anti-fragile, there's 3 stages here. Anti-fragile is that you get stronger through those struggles and you can withstand it, and they may actually make you stronger. So a lot of people live in the robust world, okay? Like they can handle things. They're not gonna break down and cry. They're like, you kind of think of like the helicopter parents have created this generation of kids that are like super fragile, right? Like everybody wins, everyone gets a trophy, everyone gets a ribbon, like blah, 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 right? That's kind of the fragile mindset of kind of some of these things. But there is a group of people, a majority of people, Brooke would say, is that we kind of hit that robust stage where we can stand up to the challenge. We can have the courage to go do something. We can decide that we're going to make a change. We can decide that we're going to take the struggle, the problem, the whatever it might be head on and go do it. We're going to be courageous and go do it. But we stop there. Like, because we feel like we have to have all the knowledge in order to do it, or it has to be the perfect timing, or it has to be the certain way before we'll do it. But the anti-fragile person knows that by going forward and doing it anyway, they're going to face the struggle and it's going to make them stronger as they go. The two examples that I have there are like your muscles, right? Like your muscles are literally breaking down in your body and tearing themselves apart. And when they repair themselves, that's when you get stronger. That's why weight training works. That's why you get lean muscles. That's why they get bigger and stronger, is because they're breaking themselves down and then they build themselves back up. They get better as they go. Same kinds of things with vaccines, right? You get a little bit of the disease or a little bit of the issue in your body, right? And the virus, and your body then builds antibodies against it and makes your body stronger. And so that's that kind of that flip from being robust to being anti-fragile, in the sense that you are going to go from just standing up to it to standing up and making yourself stronger. So many of us on this call, like just flipping through here and knowing some of your stories and knowing a little bit of who's here, so many of you and me included have gone through things, struggles in our life, challenges that have been in our way, whether they're jobs or family or illnesses or whatever they might be, that have, we're not fragile. We didn't break under them, but we met them head on. And some of us have stopped there. And some of us have said, no, this is going to make me stronger because of it. And you're going to keep moving forward. And so that's kind of where the anti-fragile kind of concept comes into just regular life as well, right? So like I said, many of us stop at robust. You learn from it, but you don't use it to go further. And when you get through the trauma, you become stronger because you're able to overcome hard things. I know that I've been through Insanity Max 30, so I know that I can do lightning bolts, right? I've lasted 27 minutes of a max 30 workout. I can do pretty much anything, right? So when you can take what you are struggling through and apply it to another area of life, that's when you're able to become that anti-fragile person. Now, the other kind of example that she talked about was, I'll kind of scroll down a little farther, I guess, is that when you are growing from those challenges, you have to know that life is going to be 50-50, okay? Life is always going to be 50% positive and life is going to be 50% negative. And I've kind of talked about this a little bit in the past of how, like there's two rails in life that we live on. We're a train car on the tracks of life, and there's the track of joy and there's the track of sadness. And depending on which way we're leaning at the moment is the track or the one that we're on. Brooke Castillo has a concept very, very similar in that there's 50% positivity in life and 50% negativity in life. And she says that you have to have the negative in your life in order to continue to grow. If you never use your muscles, they don't ever get stronger. If they'll just atrophy. If you never have struggles or challenges in your life, if you never have trauma, or you never have, hopefully you don't have trauma, but if you don't have things that push you and make you struggle, that you have an obstacle in your way, you're never going to get stronger. You're never going to evolve. You're never going to grow. And so in order to become a different person, or in order to be the person that you want to be, in order to get to the end result that you want to have, you have to grow through that and you have to get through that point. So life is 50-50 and we have to have obstacles in our way. I mean, it wouldn't be very good of life if we only had positive things happen for us, right? Because we would never get any better. Life would just always be rosy. There would be no reason to improve life ever if there was always just good. So time to kind of be thinking for yourself here. Are you utilizing your challenges to get stronger, or are you allowing them to stop you where you're at and say, I'm good enough for now? Are you increasing your ability to feel and get stronger as you go, or are you allowing other things to stop you in the way there? She also had this one here. You have to get power from your challenges in the sense of, she talked about a speaker. If you're a public speaker and you're afraid of public speaking, if you're going to be a motivational speaker, if you're going to get on stage and present something, if you are afraid of getting on stage and you get up there and you bomb it, that's the worst thing that could happen, right? You get up there and like you can't say a word, you freeze, you're just caught up with like anxiety and you walk off the stage. That's probably the worst thing that could happen if you're trying to be a public speaker. Okay. But if you get up there and you face the challenge and you maybe do okay, like the worst thing didn't happen, and you made it through, and the next time you do it, you'll get better. You learn from this experience and you do better next time. But what if you were a public speaker and you get up on stage and you nail it right away? Like everyone's cheering for you. They're super happy for you. It's amazing. And you keep doing that a couple times over, 2-3 times over, and people are loving you. And then, so you have this great, you just know that you're good at it, right? And then when you come to a stage and you are up there on stage and it's crickets and no one's talking and that you bomb it, that's where your confidence dips huge. You've never earned any confidence to overcome any struggle because you've never had any struggle before. And it kind of applying it to a business a little bit. We heard, I had Trina one time on a call. This was like maybe even a year ago. Someone come up and was like, I'm so excited for my coach, whatever her name was. She hit Success Club 18 right away her first month. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. She signed up all these coaches. And Trina was like, that is awesome. I'm so happy for her. I would really love to know what happens in a month from now when she's not able to find 9 people to sign up with her. I'm really excited in a month now to see how she goes and what she does with this when she does hear some no's and when she does have her first person quit and whatever. Like, because they were talking about how she's going to be the next elite coach, and Trina's like, let's see. How fragile is she going to be? Is she going to earn any confidence because she's always really good at it? Or is she going to have something to work through and get stronger because of the challenge? So I would say that a lot of us, me included, have a lot of struggles that we've faced, right? And that we are overcoming those struggles and getting better at what we're doing, and that we're moving forward in a situation where you're earning confidence for yourself. How many of you feel so much better when you've sent out a whole bunch of messages and people are saying no, or they're ghosting you or whatever, and then somebody says yes? Like, how good does that feel? Pretty awesome, right? Well, would it feel good if that person was saying yes to you if you didn't experience the no's? Probably not, right? And so you have to grasp those no's. You have to grasp the ghosting as learning experiences. Those are you learning to walk, and you are falling down in the process, and eventually you will get back up and you will walk and you will be moving forward and you will get that far. All right. Sean Team Awkward Fit have helped me with my struggles in therapy. That's good. This team will help you through anything. We are here to cheer you on. We're here to get you going where you need to go, and you are not going to be fragile at all anymore, ma'am. You are so strong. Okay. Did that make any sense? Anybody still with me? Did I totally butcher that completely? I hope not. If you want to hear someone actually articulate on the subject, I would listen to Brooke Castillo in the podcast, Life Coach School podcast. Okay, now the next part is about Ironmanning your business. So hopefully those of you that are on Trina's call yesterday, how many of that was you? A couple of you? Okay, so yesterday, Trina shared, "It doesn't kill us, makes us stronger." Amen. Okay, so Trina shared a story from her coach, another good friend of mine, Tracy Granada. Tracy recently has done an Ironman, a half Ironman, and so she did it a couple weeks ago. I think it was the end of August that she completed it. And we kind of talked through this on a Dream Big call. And we talked about how Tracy ran this Ironman. And it took 16 weeks of training. She completed it in 6 hours and 18 minutes. And the hardest part for her, so she told us on last Friday that the hardest part for her was that she could not have any electronics. She could not have any earbuds. She couldn't have any music. She couldn't have any podcasts. She's like, that's how I made it through all of my training. She's like, I would put in a podcast, or I would put in a Jen Sincero or a Rachel Hollis or a book of some kind, and some positive words and affirmations to keep me going. So she's like, when I first read that, right towards the end of my training sessions of oh my gosh, how am I going to make this through this without having words in my ears? She's like, I had to figure something else out. And so she said that she basically tatted her whole body with positive affirmations. She's like, so you know, like how they like write your number on your arm, like really big with like permanent marker and stuff. And like your numbers are all over because your tags fall off. So they write those numbers all over them. She's like, I took my marker and I wrote all kinds of positive things all over her body. So she had them all up and down her arms. She had like the most positive ones right here on her hands so that she could always see them when she needed to. She had them written all up and down her legs so she'd be able to see them when she was on her bike and when she was running, and she was going to being able to need some of those positive things. She said it was probably the most trying thing she's ever done, in the sense that she was just her and her head and all the things that she'd consumed over time that she had to not just be robust with, but she had to be anti-fragile with, and go and use those words and change her in the process. Now that was just a little connection I made there. She didn't know anything about Rachel or that podcast just now, but it was one of those things where she just had to become part of that. And so we kind of walked through how she created her Ironman schedule and how she was going to do this. So first, she had a goal of running an Ironman. She's been wanting to run an Ironman for a long time, right? But then she decided first she was going to sign up for it, and she set a timeline for herself. She set the plan. She signed up for the race. Then she had to figure out, what she was going to give up if she was going to sign up for this. Like before she even signed up, she had to think like, okay, this is going to be a lot of training. This is going to take a lot of time. I have 2 young boys. I have my other responsibilities at the club. Like, what am I going to give up? What am I going to focus? How and where am I going to get my workouts in? All that kind of stuff. And then the very last bit of it was coming up with the actual plan of how she's going to train, like what her miles were going to be, or like what her distances were going to be on these certain days. So Trina kind of took that whole process, and I've totally succinct it in very few minutes, but in kind of Ironmanning your business, made a plan last night and kind of shared that story and kind of some other things with the team, with Team Rockstar Fit. And I'm going to challenge you guys tonight to do the same kind of thing. So we're going to Ironman our businesses. There are about 16 weeks left in this 2019, and ironically, it took Tracy 16 weeks to train for this. Okay, so we are going to Ironman our business September through December, and we're going to make some goals tonight. So if you go to Team Rockstar Fit, hopefully you guys can see this. If you're not in this team page yet, please do so. Team Rockstar Fit, I've tagged it in the team page multiple times. Watch Trina's live video right here, okay? And then we are going to respond to this post that happens to be above it, Ironman your business. All right, now Erica, I scrolled through this, there are 88 comments, and the only Rise and Fit coach that is on this thread besides myself is Erica. So kudos to you, Erica. You are a rock star, and you've already done this assignment. So you can work on your stuff tonight if you want to, or you can just kind of chime in and help other people. All right, so this is what we're going to kind of do here. Let me go back to this. First and foremost, what is your goal? So there are 7 things that you're going to write down. So if you want to take your piece of paper out, all of you right now, and write down 1 through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually, 1 through 6. Maybe give yourself some space. Start with number 1. What is it that you want your goal to be? Okay. What do you want to achieve yet by the end of 2019? I have some other notes. What is it that you want to achieve before the end of 2019? Is it a rank goal? Is it an income goal? Is it a weight loss goal? Is it a business goal? Is it a life goal? What is that you want to achieve before the end of 2019? Write that down on your piece of paper. Number 1 is goal. The second one is pretty easy. It's already set for you. Is deadline. Okay, if you're going to do any sort of goal, you have to have a deadline. And this is going to be by December 31st, 2019, because by the end of 2019, we're going to achieve this goal, right? So number 2 is deadline. Ours happens to be 12/31 of 19. The third one is sacrifice. And this one sounds kind of like blah, but it's really thinking about kind of focusing in here. What are you going to sacrifice in order to reach this goal? Goals don't just happen. Goals don't just naturally show up. You have to put in some work, right? When you first started doing your workouts, you had to sacrifice something. You were already doing something else with that time. Nobody has more than 24/7. So you were already doing something else with that 30 minutes of your workout. What was it? You sacrificed that to get your workout in. You sacrifice time each week in order to do your meal prepping. You sacrifice time with whatever to maybe watch that 30-minute show that you are in love with. What is it that you're going to give up to do this goal by the end of 2019? Is it sleep? Is it TV time? Is it time out with friends? Is it social events? Is it hanging out at your kids' practices? Is it, what might it be? What are you going to give up? Eric, if I were you, because I'm guessing Daniel's in the room with you right now, I would say you're going to give up all poopy diapers so that you can focus in on your goal. Okay, and hopefully you heard that. So, just kidding. You should just give up something that is going to help make sure you're going to get to the goal. Third one, and you guys can continue to write as you go, but that's the third one, is sacrifice. What are you going to give up to get there? The fourth one is focus. When and where can you work without distraction? Where are you going to go? And what time of the day are you going to focus on this work? If you want to hit diamond by the end of the year, do you have a solid hour, at least a solid hour in a day to get your power hour done? Where is it going to happen? Is it going to be in your office? Is it going to be at the kitchen table? Is it going to be, at the coffee shop? Is it going to be, where is it going to be? And where can you be without distraction? So I can say that I'm going to sit on my couch and do my power hour while my kids are watching a movie. That usually doesn't happen very well, right? Or I can tell you 100% that the very first year that I went elite, a lot of my, she mentions this in the thing, but a lot of my hours, my first year going elite, were sitting in the bathroom down on our first level, because we live in a split level house. And so any lights on the main level shine down into the kids' bedrooms downstairs or shine upstairs into our bedroom. So around the corner is this tiny little bathroom with the lights on, didn't bother anybody else. And I would sit in there from about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night after the kids went to bed until about 11, working with coaches, working with clients, messaging, hitting Success Club myself, helping coaches hit Success Club, helping other people do things. Probably was for sure November through December. Like every night I was in that little tiny bathroom. Thankfully had a cushiony seat, but it was where we were at, and that's where I did my work. And that was focused. It was uninterrupted. I didn't have to worry about bothering anyone, and nobody seemed to know when I went to bed either, which was fine. Okay. So focus. Where are you going to get your work, and where are you going to be without distraction? Where can you have your mind free from all the things that are going on? One of the things that I wrote down for mine was when I'm working on my goal right now, I'm going to work in my office. I'm going to work for solid hour blocks by setting a timer, and I'm going to turn off all other social media. So if I'm working Instagram, I'm shutting the lid to my computer so I can't see the Facebook. When I'm working in Facebook, I have my Instagram notifications turned off. There's an app that you can get on your computer, not on your phone, but on your computer, that you can turn the news feed off on Facebook. It can just be messages that are there. Help you focus in on whatever you need to do. But whatever it is you're going to do, focus on the things that are going to help you get to where you want to go. Okay? All right. Yes, I did have something like that on my podcast today. You're right. Okay. Number 4 is focus. Number 5 is mindset. We all know that so much of what we do here is mindset. If you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to get through that 1 minute with Autumn. If you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to make it anywhere with Shanti. That's why they dig into our brains all the time when we're working out, because your mindset is so important. Same thing applies to this business. So whose voice, whose words are you going to plug into, and what personal development are you going to wash, rinse, repeat on? What is the message that you need to hear in order to keep you going and keep pushing you through to the end? because this is going to be awesome. It's going to be new. It's going to be shiny. It's going to be something that you want to achieve now. But when life gets hard or something comes up that's going to distract you from it, if it's not something that you're super dedicated to keep doing, it's going to get easy to let go of. So like when Tracy was running up the last hill of her race and she had no words, no songs, no beat to kind of keep her moving, she had to pull from somebody's words and voices that she's heard over and over again in different pods or songs or books or things on calls that she's been on to keep her moving forward. So your mindset is super important. What personal development are you going to do to help you get through this? Things that I wrote down, Brooke Castillo, with the Life Coach School podcast, Jen Sincero, You're a Badass is still one of my absolute favorite books. And I still have it on my Audible and I will listen to it over and over again. TD Jakes is another one that just speaks life into me. If it's something leadership wise, I'm definitely plugging into John Maxwell. Just who is it that you're going to be able to plug into and what personal development are you going to do? This one is absolutely vital if you're going to keep going. And the sixth one is strategy. And she would say, invite to the team, invite to the team, invite to the team. Because if you're going to get anywhere in this business, the team is your best offer. The team, building a team is what's going to get you much farther than if you are just trying to do retail. Team, team, team. Tomorrow night, Julianne is going to go through the Wednesday worksheet with us. On the Happy and Fit call, we're going to be talking about income. We're going to be talking about how to break that down, how to track your business, how to do those kinds of things. The Wednesday worksheet is in the Coach Collab page if you want to go look at it in advance. But it is a way for you to come up with a monthly income goal and break it down on how you're going to do that. Part of your income is going to come from retail and part of your income is going to come from team. I would hope that the majority of your income at some point is coming from your team. She's going to share checks. She's going to share how things have worked for her in the past. I'm always an open book if you ever want to know what my early business looked like. But I can honestly tell you 1000% my checks did not start growing until I hit Emerald and it continued to move and build a team. Momentum comes in compound effect when you add to the team. So, who has 1 through 6 written out on their paper besides Erica? Yeah? Awesome. Anyone want to share them? You can type them in or you can unmute and chat. I have mine. Marcy, raise your hand. I'm going to unmute you, Miss Marcy. Go for it.
Okay. So I made a goal of diamond to get there by our deadline at the end of the year. My sacrifice will be sleep. I'm going to focus on waking up earlier in the morning while the kids are still sleeping and the house is quiet so I can get those invites out. So my focus will be in my room away from everybody while they're sleeping. And my mindset, I'm going to have to pick a podcast, a few that I really want to focus and listen to. That's a weak link that I have that I know. So I'm going to work on that. And then that strategy is inviting to the team.
Awesome.
Yes.
Picking a solid podcast, or I really like books because it's more of a consistent theme long term, whereas sometimes podcasts can be kind of choppy unless you find somebody that is like very consistent, the kind of the same type of thing over and over again that you're going to listen to. Like quote of the day, for example, is like always very random in different topics, different subjects. So I probably pick that one. But if you pick somebody like Brooke Castillo, or you pick somebody that like Trish Blackwell, or you pick somebody that is very consistent in a certain subject area, and that's the area of growth that you're trying to work on, then I would say all 4 podcasts and going that direction. To answer your question, Jamie, I do not believe TD Jakes has a podcast, but he has lots of really good books and has I've listened to a lot of his books. He just has a really amazing voice. You can find him if you just Google TD Jakes on YouTube. You'll find lots of interviews that he's done, or just things that he's done. Soar is the book that he has right now. This is the first T.D. Jakes book that I read, was Destiny by T.D. Jakes. And he's got a lot of other really good ones too. He's a pastor. He's a Grammy Award winning movie producer. He has his own talk show for a while. Like, he's done a lot of things, but he's really good. And his book Soar is the one that I have on my, I have a lot of books to read and to listen to in the next while, but that one is next on my list after the You're Not Lost book. All right, who else? Ashley says Emerald by December 31st. I fully believe you can get to Emerald before December 31st, dear. That's a long ways away for two people. But mindless scrolling, you're going to get rid of that. You're going to work at your desk. You're going to listen to podcasts. And invite to the team, not sell retail. The team is the best offer, always. If they're going to join you with the challenge pack, they might as well join you for free as a teammate. Expose them to the team calls. Get them on with you and showing them the team experience in Team Rise and Fit, showing them in the coach club, showing them in a Happy and Fit. What does your community mean to you? What are you learning from them? How can you share that with them? And talking about it more often in what you're doing, in your stories, in your podcasts. You know, a lot of us are tagging each other in workouts and tagging each other in Energize and tagging each other in all that kind of fun stuff, the workout part of it. But what if we started tagging each other in team calls, and we started tagging each other in, you know, podcasts, and we started tagging each other in other business related activities that helped them show what the team is about. And so we've been doing some like tag your it kinds of things in the coach collab. You've seen those, like my 3 favorite things about coaching, or my 3 fears of coaching, or different, like, this is what I thought coaching was, this is what I thought coaching is now, like those kinds of things, and tagging each other in those things. But when you post a picture of like a team call like this, people oftentimes think that we're talking about fitness, because that's the other thing that they see us do, right? They see us work out, they see us drink Shakeology or go-go juice. And so they automatically think we get on these calls and just talk about our workouts. I mean, what else do we talk about, right? That's all they see. But unless we're talking about other things and telling them other things that we're actually doing on here, like tonight, you could tell them we learned about being anti-fragile, and like learned about how we need to fall down to get back up in order to get stronger to do things, right? Or we set goals tonight. Like, they're all things that you talk about and tell people what you do as a coach. So it's not either so scary to them to be a coach, or it's not complicated. The more you complicate it, the more confused they're going to be. Super simple. We work on self-care and we encourage others to do the same. Plug into self-growth and we wash, rinse, repeat. Life is better on the team. Emily says, Emerald in a Success Club 2, December, no. I'm like, you're gonna hit SE2 right away if you're going Emerald. You're gonna hit 4 there. Oh, number 2 is December 31st. Got it. Okay. 3 is sacrifice lunch break errands, shopping, lunch breaks at work, evenings after kids are in bed, podcast, and invite to the team. Perfect. Again, both Ashley and Emily, you can totally be Emerald this week if you wanted to. You both have amazing clients in your group that could totally be on the team. Who else? Anyone else have things? Do you want me to share my big goal? This isn't a goal that I was going to go for at all anymore this year. I'd kind of taken the reins off of it and said, I'm not going to go for this goal because I'm too far behind mathematically, logistically. It's not in the cards this year. You need 105 points, leadership points, to be an elite coach, and I'm currently at 23. We have 4 months left in the year, and the 4 ways that you can earn points as these leadership points is that your 2018 and 2019 coaches are hitting Success Club, that you're signing on coaches who are getting a Success Club point or helping their first person in the first month or second month, and volume are the 3 ways. There's a 4th way. Those are the 2 main things that I need to be able to help. And then the 4th thing is I need to grow diamonds. So I need to grow 2 of my own diamonds, and I need to have those leadership points in those areas. Right now, all of my leadership points, majority of my leadership points, are in the volume area. I've got a couple points in the U+1 kind of category, like a new coach not hitting Success Club, but helping someone right away in their first month. So logistically, probably not going to happen. However, if I can control what I can control, if I stop focusing on what everyone else is doing and just know that I need to do things, what do I need to do in order to hit elite this year? I need to massively recruit. So I'm going to be sacrificing time that I would be doing extra things in the area. I'm going to cut back on my volunteering. I said that I was going to volunteer for some classroom time. They haven't asked yet, but I'm just going to limit that time. I'm going to really limit some different things I'm doing in the community, and I'm really going to put all my time and attention from that 8 to 3 slot, from when my kids are in school to when my kids get home, 100% focusing on my business. Now, I'm home all day already, but there's lots of stuff around the house that fills up that time, right? Like today, my husband was like, so it's really funny how the almond milk container never left the sink today. And I was like, imagine that. It's almost like someone was working all day, right? Yeah, as if I wasn't here because I'm working and doing the things I need to do. So making sure that I'm going to do that. My mindset is going to be with Brooke Castillo, Jen Sincero, and TD Jakes, like I shared earlier. And I'm inviting at least 25 people a day to my business. And so I shared this with elite coaches earlier tonight that randomly I bought this Shutterfly book. It's this little notebook, just a random notebook. But I was able to pick a picture that I wanted. It was actually a freebie on Shutterfly for the order that I did of actual prints. And so I chose this picture. And those of you that know what this picture is, it's my kids riding horses. And that's one of the bigger pictures that's up on my dream board right now, because one of the things we want is our acreage where they can go ride and they can live with their horses and do whatever. And so this is kind of a vision statement for me in a sense, right? And so I got this notebook randomly, and the words, you probably can't see it right here, but it says Dream Book right there. I kind of wish it was in a different color, but it's in dark blue. But it says Dream Book. And so I was like, okay, this is just where I'll put notes. I'll use it sometime when I go to a conference or do something, I'll just put notes in here, right? Well, today, God puts everything in plan for emotion, in motion for purpose. And so I have had this book for a while. It's been actually laying in my closet because I'm really bad at putting things away. And now today, page 1 is the first 25 names of the 25 women I invited to my team today. Even has a nice little spot for the date. And the next day, it's going to have the next date, and it's going to have 25 more names. And we're just going to keep doing that because we're going to 10x that every single day from here on out. And this little dream book is going to be how we're going to get to elite. Because I don't have control over the people that are already on my team, but I have control over what I do. And the people that are going to help me get there may be here, maybe not. And so we're just going to dive in and get it done. And so that's my big goal. I'm going for elite 3 times. And like I told some other people earlier today, I really don't want to get to the end of the year and think, what if I could have made it? What if? So I'm going all in, and I'm going for elite this year. And if we make it, Awesome. I'm gonna do everything in my power to get there. You guys all come with me? Awesome. Actually, none of you on the screen would count for me, but you would in a sense of helping other people get to their goals. So Chris getting back to Diamond would be amazing. Okay, that would help get back to 5-star and reaching that, checking that off the list. Helping other people continue with volume is always a huge team thing. Helping other star diamonds go good, other diamonds to go star diamonds is helpful. Those are ranking points where you get to be like top.
Turn my light on.
As you kind of go through things. So it's just a matter of going through the process. So those are my goals. That's what I'm going for. And I just wanted to put it out there to the whole team. So those of you that are watching, those of you that are watching the recording later, now you know. Jamie, you wrote something in there before I went on my tangent. I love your goal. 2 per week. That is a very doable goal. I love that you calculated that out and figured that out there. 2 per week. You have everything that you need. Shanti's book, I've heard, is very raw. Have you read it yet? Or you just have it?
I started it and then stopped it, and I had some other things I was reading at the same time, and I kind of stopped to finish and then just haven't gone back.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. You can invite as you're going. Okay, I'm going to push on your little goal here a little bit. I wouldn't wait until you hit your goal and to invite. I would invite as you're going. I'm on this journey and I want you to come with me. I'm going to do this and I know that I will stay more accountable if other people do it with me. People checking in on me. Trina had something the other day in the Q&A. Gotta find it now. If the answer is no or the answer is yes, you have an invite in the process. Basically how it was going. I have so many notes in my notebook. I feel good and let me. If you feel good in your skin, are you getting paid to do it? If you are feeling good in your skin and you're feeling good about what you're doing, are you getting paid to do it? If yes, then tell people about it. Invite them to come do it with you. You feel good in your skin, get more people feeling good in your skin. If the answer is no, let's use it as fuel to make a plan and take action and invite people to do it with you. So whether you feel good in your skin or you don't feel good in your skin, the answer is take action and invite people to do things with you. Simple advice, right? Are you more likely to stick with something if you have somebody doing something with you?
Yeah, that's the only reason I've been able to do it the last year is our team. So.
Right. Bring more people on the team with you. Invite them along. You knew I would say that. Of course I would say that. Bring them along, right? Okay, ladies, the last thing I have for you is to share your stuff here for extra accountability. Going to Team Rockstar Fit. Here's the page, Team Rockstar Fit, Facebook groups, Team Rockstar Fit. It's already in the team page as well. Scroll down to this post where she asks the same 6 things we just went through. You've already made it, right? You've already written out. Now go in here and paste it. Hold yourself accountable. Read through the others, celebrate them. Here's Miss Erica's. She's going to be a diamond coach. She's going to sacrifice social media and TV. She's going to read The Slight Edge. She's going to focus when baby's sleeping, early mornings and late nights. She's going to invite constantly, genuinely, and confidently. I love that. Miss Mabel is going to see her mama go for it. Well, she's not because she's going to be sleeping, right? But she's going to see it in the end result. She sees it now. Hi, Miss Mabel. And then add yourself to this list. And if you've not already done so, good job, Marcy. You already added yours there. And if you've not already done so, watch the live video from that. All right. If you don't have access to Team Extra Fit, request it. I will add you. Okie doke. Thank you so much for jumping on tonight. Brayden had to go to bed. Let's take a picture. I will share it in the team page. Oh, let me hit stop recording.